Structure of Modification by Group 4, Tensi Blaise Pascal. Modification is the grammatical tie that exists, for example, between an adjective and its noun, or a verb and its adverb. But structural diagrams can also indicate clearly what we intuitively feel when we construct sentences. That adjectives sometimes modify whole phrases, which themselves contain other adjectives. That adverbs sometimes modify whole clauses. That phrases sometimes modify other phrases or whole clauses. That clauses sometimes modify other clauses. Or that some words we do not normally think of as adjectives or adverbs sometimes perform the grammatical function of modification. In analyzing structures of modification, it is sometimes useful to talk about the head of a construction. The head of a construction is the single word that gets modified. The word that could by itself stand for the whole construction in the grammar of the sentence. It is the word in the construction that all the modifying elements depend on. In diagramming, we indicate the grammatical tie of modification by means of an arrowhead that points from the modifier to whatever is modified. All of the arrowheads in a diagram of a structure of modification point toward the head of the construction. Single word modifiers. Here are some examples. Notice the difference in the first two examples between adjectives in a series and coordinated adjectives. There is subtle shade of difference in the meaning. One could be talking about a barn that is one tall and red, in which cases there will be a comma between tall and red to indicate the structure of modification. Or, as in the example given, one could be talking about a red barn that is tall. One could be talking about a black dog that is big, in which cases there will be no comma between big and black. Or, as in the example given, one could be talking about a dog that is big and black. In these first two examples, notice also that the article is normally thought of as modifying the whole construction that it begins. That is, the article is diagrammed as belonging on the outside of the rest of the construction. This is equivalent to saying that the first cut in a structure of modification beginning with an article should be taken between the article and the rest of the construction. Notice how, in the third example, the diagram indicates that the adverb recklessly modifies not just the verb flew, but the whole predication. This makes sense if we notice that the adverb is movable. We could put it at the end of the sentence equally well. They flew downhill recklessly. If the recklessly were intended to modify only flew, it will be put next to flew. They recklessly flew downhill. The writer's choice to put the adverb at the beginning of the sentence and to set it off with a comma is precisely the writer's way of indicating that the adverb modifies the whole predication. Similarly, notice how the comma in the fourth example actually separates the modifier dancing from hippos, the head of its construction. The comma here is a way of indicating that dancing modifies not just the head hippos, but instead the whole construction Disney's manic hippos. If the writer had intended for dancing to modify only hippos, the writer would have written Disney's manic dancing hippos.
Modifying phrases. These examples illustrate how prepositional phrases by the people into the backyard down main for that work syntactically like adjectives or adverbs. Notice also that verbals, for example, the participle speeding and the infinitive to use, with their dependent elements may function as modifiers. The normal way of treating introductory subordinate clauses in structural grammar is to construe them as modifying the prediction in the main clause, as in the first example. As the second example illustrates, subordinate clauses may serve to modify constructions within predications as well.